Tonight, we are going to talk about a very ordinary topic, how people stored food in the 1700s. There will be no excitement, no drama, and no urgency. Just a slow, quiet explanation of everyday life from a long time ago. If you feel sleepy, that is perfectly fine. You don't need to remember anything. In the 1700s, there were no refrigerators, no freezers, no electric cooling. People stored food using time, air, salt, and patience. Food storage was not convenient, but it was familiar and deeply routine. Most families planned their meals weeks or even months in advance. One of the simplest ways to store food was drying. Meat, fruits, and vegetables were left in the sun or near a gentle fire. Moisture slowly disappeared. Dry meat became hard, light, and long-lasting. Apples were sliced thin and laid out carefully. Herbs were tied in small bundles and hung from wooden beams. Dry food took less space and spoiled very slowly. This method required time and patience. Salt was extremely valuable in the 1700s. Meat, especially pork and beef, was packed heavily in salt. The salt pulled moisture out of the meat. This made it difficult for bacteria to grow. Large wooden barrels were commonly used. Inside these barrels, layers of meat and salt were pressed together. The barrels were stored in cool cellars. Salted meat was tough and very salty. Before eating, it was soaked in water for many hours. Smoking was another slow, quiet process. Meat and fish were hung above a small fire. The fire produced smoke, not flames. Smoke surrounded the food for days or even weeks. The smoke dried the surface and added a strong smell. Smoke also helped keep insects away. Many homes had small smoke houses. They stood quietly near farms and villages. Root cellars were very important. They were built underground or partially underground. The earth kept them cool all year round. Inside, people stored potatoes, carrots, turnips, and onions. Food rested quietly in wooden boxes or directly on soil. The temperature stayed steady even during summer. Root cellars were dark, cool, and silent. Pickling was common, especially for vegetables. Food was placed in vinegar or salty water. Cabbage became sauerkraut. Cucumbers became pickles. Fermentation happened slowly, without urgency. Large clay jars and glass containers were used. These jars were stored in cool corners of the house. The process changed taste and preserved food. Grains were the foundation of daily life. Wheat, corn, and barley. They were dried thoroughly before storage. Grain was kept in sacks, wooden bins, or large barrels. Rodents were a constant concern. Homes were designed carefully to reduce damage. Grain storage required attention, but little movement. People in the 1700s checked their food regularly. They smelled it, touched it, and observed it closely. There were no labels, no dates, no instructions. Knowledge passed from parents to children. Food storage was not science, it was habit. Food storage in the 1700s was slow, predictable, and quiet. It followed the seasons and the rhythm of nature. Nothing was rushed. And now, as you rest, you can let these slow routines fade gently away. You don't need to think anymore. Just